In today's video, we're going to be talking about how we are building and why we're doing it slowly. And the short answer is we're building debt-free. No loans, no credit cards, no monthly payments hanging over our heads. And just to put out there, this is not advice. It's definitely not a flex. It's just what's working for us. For us, this whole lifestyle was about freedom, and it didn't make sense for us to chase freedom while being tied down to a payment. In our lifetime, our short lifetime, we've both seen what debt stress does, the constant pressure, the what if something goes wrong. So we decided early on when we decided to start this homestead journey that if we could not afford it in cash, we just wouldn't do it yet. And that decision has shaped everything. What you don't see online is how much waiting happens. There's long stretches where we're not building anything new, we're saving, we're fixing small things, we're reusing what we already have. And honestly, when you're not seeing a lot of progress happening, it starts to mess with your head. You start wondering if you're behind, if you should be doing more, if you're doing it wrong. I know before we picked up the fence build project back up, I was getting very antsy. Elijah will tell you that I was just like antsy, and I'm like, I gotta do something. I need to do something. I need to do something. But since we picked back up on the fence build project, it's funny because as soon as we picked back up on the fence build project, I haven't complained about feeling antsy or I feel like I should be doing something because the fence build project started back up for us to get fenced in, and then other projects started up, and we're just like, so now we're just like multi-juggling all this stuff going on at the same time, which it's fun. When people say build in phases, it sounds really organized. In reality, it's more like, okay, what's the next thing that will make our life easier, or what will protect what we already have? So for us, the early phases were not pretty at all. It was water first, power solutions, storage, so that we can protect our stuff from the weather. Stuff that doesn't look exciting on camera, but without it, nothing else would work. One of the hardest parts of building debt-free is living with good enough. Not finished, not aesthetic, not with what you eventually want, but functional. There are things on this property that we know that we will change later, and that used to get to me because my philosophy is, why do this if it's just going to turn into this later? But sometimes you have to see them as placeholders, not failures. So things that will be upgraded in the future, but will get you by today. So I think this is the part that people don't talk about enough. When you're not using debt, your progress may seem very quiet. No big reveal days, no huge overnight transformations, and sometimes that can feel discouraging. But what keeps us grounded is knowing that nothing here can be taken away from us because of a payment. We try not to plan too far ahead, even though you have to find that balance of planning ahead. But we usually like to sit down and we ask ourselves a few questions. Is it going to protect what we've already built? Is it going to save us money later? Is it something that we actually need right now? And if the answer is no, it waits, even if we really, really, really want it. There are so many times we've had to say no to projects, to upgrades, to things we could technically make work, but we've had to learn that stretching ourselves thin will always cost us more in the end. Waiting isn't wasted time when it keeps you stable. Debt-free building gives us peace, it gives us flexibility. If something breaks, we fix it. If life changes, we adjust. There's no panic, there's no scrambling to make a payment, and that's worth more to us than finishing something fast. If you're watching this and feeling like you're behind because you're building slow, or you haven't started your build yet, you're just know you're not behind. You're building something that can last, not something that looks good quickly, and that matters. We're not trying to impress anyone. We're not racing anyone. We're just trying to build a life that we can afford to keep. if you're building this way too, slow, intentional, without debt, you're not alone. And if you want to follow along with the real version of this journey, go ahead and subscribe. We'll definitely make sure that we keep showing the progress, even if it's quiet. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it gave you a little insight into what debt-free building truly looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. So as a quick insert, something fun. So usually I like to bake and I like to cook and all that kind of stuff. And so I ended up getting, basically my goal for this coming year was to start doing my own bread, specifically sourdough bread. So for Christmas, I ended up getting a sourdough starter kit and San Francisco style sourdough starter. So this is about day 3 or 4 of me reactivating the yeast and getting it basically into starter form. So I figured I would just show you and give you an update. In here is my sourdough starter. They gave me like instructions and everything that I've been following. And so I put the yeast in here, and then I have been feeding it for the past 24 to 48 hours. And so this is currently what it looks like. It's not ready by a long shot. I think hopefully by tomorrow or the next day it'll be ready. But I'm now at the point, since it's new, where I have to discard some of it and then leave about, I think probably about 200 milliliters in here. So I felt really bad about discarding it because it's culture, because it seems like it's just a waste of flour, it's a waste of water. So I looked up some different recipes that I can do with it. So you can make like crackers out of it, you can make English muffins, pancakes. You can do so much stuff with sourdough starter that you're supposed to discard. And then the discard you can just keep in the fridge. So I have like this little container here that I'm going to dump part of that into, so then I can continue feeding this, which I love feeding it. And then Girly has been helping me feed it. Pretty much she thinks it's fun because she's excited to make bread. But I'm going to keep you guys updated and on this journey to see basically see when I bake my first loaf, because I think I'll hopefully be baking like a loaf a day, which would be fun. And then I can just give them out to people because sourdough is so good. I'm pretty sure between Elijah and the kids, they'll just eat them up like crazy. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this separated, and then I'm going to get it fed.